What's up, creators and creatrixes? I'm Wicked. I'm giving power back to the people, and you can't stop me. If you're interested in leveling up, go ahead and check out the Wicked coaching page over at the Wicked Witches web so that we can create your favorite experience together. Today we are going to be discussing sigils. But before we dive in, go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and click that little bell so that you can stay notified when new content appears. With all that being said, let's get to it. By popular demand, today's video is going to be all about sigils, and I think you're going to find that this gets a lot more simple than you may initially think. Now, there are billions of sigils in the world today, and this is because you can create your own sigils. Now, back when the magical world was a little bit more pure, you might be able to rely on textbooks for sigils, but in today's day and age, it's probably almost safer to create your own than to use any that you find on the internet, because you can never be sure of the person's intention when they were making those. Unless you're able to get your hands on some ancient text, it's just generally going to be better if you create your own. Plus, it's more powerful. Witchcraft is entirely DIY, so anytime that you create your own ingredients, create your own sigils, write your own spells, you're adding all of your power into your craft, and this is the best way to get your intention to manifest with the most pure energy. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about what sigils are, how you can activate them, and how you can create them. First and foremost, sigils are symbols, but they're so much more than that. To the untrained eye, they're probably just going to look like little squiggles, or possibly even a little bit threatening if you don't know what you're looking at. But sigils are a way of taking your energy, your intention, and putting them into a stamp. Now, the universe, it doesn't speak in words, so there are a lot of other ways that you can communicate with it as clearly as possible, and the best way to do this is through your own energy. When you create a sigil, you take these little squiggles and you empower them in order to bring about your intention. Sigils have been used forever, since the dawn of time, since the dawn of magic, and probably in other places before this world even existed. Sigils can be used to invoke power, to summon spirits, to protect, to manifest your intentions, or just to keep around as reminders of where your focus is. But don't limit yourself to these ideas. They're your sigils, and you can use them for whatever you see fit. I think the most important step with sigils, once you figure out how to create them, is to learn how to activate them. Now, as with everything else, there are a few different ways that you can do this as well. To activate a sigil, you can cast a spell. You can create a all-encompassing spell to activate all of your sigils, or you can create a spell specifically for that specific sigil. Other ways to activate sigils would be to create a copy and to burn it. Something about this helps to release the energy into the universe. Fire is a very powerful element, so don't be afraid to use it in your craft. You can also activate your sigils by exposing them to sunlight, and you can charge them using the moonlight. Now, there are also a couple different ways that you can create sigils. You want to first figure out what your intention is, what the sigil is about. Break this down into a nice, clean sentence using only a few words. Now, some people say one of the best things to do is to take out all of the vowels from that phrase, and then with those remaining consonants, you can either use a number chart to help you figure out how to draw the sigil, or you can use those consonants to create the sigil using the shape of the letters themselves. You can also do a blend of this. Depending on your intention, you might want to use different creation methods, and that's okay. Again, witchcraft is entirely DIY, so you have to be willing to trust your own intuition, especially when it comes to creating your sigils. Now, if you're going to be using a number system like this to create your sigils, you're going to want to follow the number chart as far as how they correspond to the letters, but you can rearrange the numbers and how they appear around the circle. And it can be a good idea to change these up. You might want to create a couple of your own different charts for different intentions. Perhaps you're going to want one for love intentions, one for money intentions, one for protection, and etc. and so forth. But separating these things can help you to keep your intentions clear both as you're creating the sigils and once the sigil is activated. Now, this is just my interpretation of how to do them, but I have been known to change these things around a little bit. Sometimes when you're working with the creation of a sigil, you're just not going to be able to find the right flow, and that is the perfect time to change up the order of those numbers, or to even try using the letters themselves to create the shapes. This is something that you're going to want to play with a lot until you get what feels right to you, and it can be a lot of fun to design these sigils as well. You get the chance to explore the way that different letters fit together, which can be kind of a surprising fun art project, and you get to create some really powerful symbols that are going to kind of register with a certain part of your soul that is going to allow you to light up in a really cool way. Now, once you've created and activated your sigil, you can use them anywhere. Some people like to just create them and activate them by burning them away. If that is enough for your intention, then that is plenty. But some other things that you can do is encompass them into spell jars. This jar was made for me, and I love the fact that she put her own sigil within it. You can put them into your books. I have a sigil in my grimoire that protects the knowledge within. You can put them on your car. You can tattoo them on your body. You can use a dry erase marker and write them on your mirror, wherever it is that you feel like you're going to get the most out of this sigil. This is going to be a constant reminder of your power. Now, if you are doing certain workings, like let's say you're interested in summoning some spirits, some ancestors, or your spirit guides, you can carve your sigils into your candles. You can also chalk them down. I don't necessarily recommend chalking your floor because while it looks cool in movies, the cleanup process is a bitch. But you can write them down on sheets of paper or another medium and place these around your sacred circle as you're casting. And this can help you to empower, to protect yourself, and to give you clear sight as well. I have actually blessed my own sunglasses with clear sight through use of a simple spell and a tiny sigil in the little corners on both sides. And I have to say, this has helped me wonders when on the road. It's definitely something I do not regret doing. Some other fun ideas of how you can use sigils: if you're trying to find a path in your life, or if you're trying to stay on path, stay in alignment, you can create a sigil for this and keep it in your shoe. This is going to help you stay on course. Oftentimes, if you're working with glamour magic, using that dry erase marker and putting them on your mirror is going to help you with this as well. This can help you to attract your own ability to see your natural beauty, which is so empowering. This is also a great tip for any self-love work that you might be doing. You can use sigils to protect loved ones and children just by simply giving them a slip of paper or slipping it into their backpack or their purse or their wallet. You can laminate your sigils so that you can carry them around with you in a more permanent manner. Now, of course, I don't recommend this practice, but once again, it would be a disservice for me not to share what I know. So you can use sigils for malicious intentions. You can write them on other people's cars with a window marker. You can bury them around their homes, and honestly, the list goes on. If this is something that you're interested in, do your own research. It's your karma, not mine. I don't recommend it because we live in a law of attraction universe, so anything you put out is going to bounce back to you. You could just as easily use sigils for healing and forgiveness rather than going out of your way to make someone else's life miserable. But again, your life, your karma. In all honesty, the capabilities of sigils are truly endless, and I think they're really underutilized in the craft nowadays. You can use sigils to empower your crystals, to help your plants grow, to keep your pets safe or well-behaved. You can also use sigils at your job to help ensure that you only interact with the best customers possible. You can use sigils to make sure that not only are you safe on the road, but that you are in with the flow so that things are always working out for you, so that you hit every green light. As long as you can think of it, you can manifest it with a sigil. You just have to figure out the right wording to get the right phrase. So if you create a sigil and you don't feel like you're getting the results that you desire, just rework it a little bit. See if there's a better way that you can put this into terms. And one of the most important things to remember here is that just like setting an intention and casting a spell, you want to put this in terms of present times, like it's already happened. So it's not, I wish to or I will. It is I am. This is how it is. This is done. You want to make it surrounded around the present tense as much as possible, because otherwise you're just kind of stuck in that in-between frequency where you're manifesting it but it hasn't yet come to you. So you don't want to ask, you want to tell the universe how it is, respectfully, of course. Now, if you're struggling to figure out what kind of sigils to make, or what sort of phrase to use for them, or what kind of circle you want to use, or which method you want to go with, reach out to your spirit guides and to your ancestors. We've talked about spirit guides a little bit here and there, and I will likely do a video all about them later on, but know that these are high vibrational beings that are always here to help you, and the more that you interact with them, the more they are going to interact with you. Let me tell you, they absolutely love when you turn to them when you are practicing your craft, because they enjoy feeling like you value their insight, like you're paying attention to them, you're acknowledging their power and their wisdom, and when you listen, things just tend to go better. And you've got to think of them like they're your eye in the sky. They're covering you from the high ground. They're making sure that you are safe and protected down here. So if they're telling you that what you're casting for or intending upon, or what sigil you're creating, isn't quite right, you're going to want to listen to that. You're going to want to find a right way to rework it, or perhaps reevaluate the intention that you're setting and see if there isn't a better path to get to where you want to be. Now, there are tons of books, resources, reading materials, videos, all sorts of fun stuff in the world that you can check into revolving the subject of sigils. And as always, I encourage you to do your own research, because I am just one person and there is a wealth of information out there. And one of the most important things about the craft is that you keep studying. We are here to expand our own consciousness. There is no other way to grow. So don't just take my word for everything, especially if something I said doesn't jive with you. Don't be afraid to go exploring into the world. Just make sure that you're listening to your intuition as you do. Whatever you feel attracted to, follow that call to the best of your ability, because there's something on the other side of it for you. Now, I believe that is all I have for this one. Thank you so much for joining me, and make sure to like and subscribe so that I can help you keep your third eye in the sky. Stay blessed.